Record. Hey everyone, welcome back to Thrive with Sahil. I'm your host Sahil, and guys, you know the drill. Please like, share, subscribe. It helps us grow, and your one subscribe, your one like can help us immensely, and that will keep me motivated to keep the podcast going on and bringing some amazing guests. Like we have Christian here tonight, joining us from Melbourne, Australia, and we're gonna get to him. But before that, let's go on to the stories of the week. First, we have the story about football player Savvy King. And honestly, it's one of those stories that reminds you that sports is much more about other things than winning games. And earlier this year, she suffered a serious cardiac emergency and uh, had to go undergo an open heart surgery. And for many athletes, this means like end of their careers, but she took her time, she recovered, she did her rehabilitation, and she managed to return to professional football. And now she's nominated for the ESPY award for the best comeback athletes. And what's even more impressive is that she's using her experience right now to promote CPR awareness and encourage more people to learn life-saving skills. So it's a story about resilience and yeah, using experiences, difficult experiences to help others. And secondly, secondly, we have another comeback story from Tour de France, where the Norwegian cyclist Torsten Train he was diagnosed with testicular cancer and had to put his career and training on hold for a long time. And he was trying to focus on treatment and recovery. But yeah, today he is leading Tour de France and wearing that famous yellow jersey. And this shows like how much determination, even the previous story of Savvy King and this one shows you how much determination and perseverance can athletes show us sometimes. And that was really nice to see. And
Plus, the Norwegians doing pretty well this week
oh
with
yeah,
the football team in the quarters of the World Cup as well. So good week for
e-
Norway, I guess.
yeah, very good. They have been doing really well. Uh, Especially like considering they beat Brazil. Brazil is always the favorites,
Hmm,
and
100%.
yeah, but not to take anything away from Norway, but it was just Erling Haaland. That guy, that
Masterclass here, masterclass.
yeah, he's really good. And the third news we have is from Wimbledon. Are you watching Wimbledon, Christian?
Yeah, man, I've been pretty in tune with it. Arthur Ferry.
Yes, there were 19 British players who came to Wimbledon, and Arthur Feri is the only remaining one. And what a dream for him to start the tournament as a wild card. But now, yeah, he's in the quarters and he'll play Koboli next. Uh, and yeah,
Yeah,
this
pretty
is
good,
a
pretty good
yeah
story.
the underdog stories. I always love underdog stories.
Yeah, and plus,
Yeah,
I think he beat Grigor Dimitrov in the last round, right?
yeah,
Who had
yeah,
like a pretty good story himself with what happened with him tearing his pec last year against Sinner, being two sets to love up. So yeah,
yeah.
that was a pretty good fourth round match. Good
Yeah.
comeback by Ferry as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that match. It's gonna happen today, I think. But the podcast will be released a few weeks later. So guys, you might already know what will happen.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, coming back to you, Christian, thank you for coming on the podcast and talking with us. And yeah, my audience will appreciate uh, that you'll share your experiences. And guys, this is gonna be a tennis podcast because Christian is an ex-tennis player,
No,
and
it's good to be here, man. Great, great to talk to you.
yeah, so you can go ahead and introduce yourself the way you want.
Cool. So, like Sahil said, an ex-tennis player, now coaching tennis pretty much is my full-time job. Grew up in India and then moved to Australia at the age of 22, 28 now, so been here for 6 years. completed my master's degree, and then just been coaching tennis. Sort of started off part-time while doing my degree, and then doing it full-time now in Melbourne, Australia. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's pretty much me.
yeah. And because uh, you are from Goa, right? Like you were born in Goa?
I am,
Yeah.
yeah, born in Goa. Lived there for the first 13 years of my life.
Yeah.
And then because of my brother and I playing tennis at the time, my parents were looking to move cities to a place that could give both of us better tennis training opportunities.
Mm,
And then from Goa, we moved to Pune,
mm,
India. And then that's where I spent my teenage years just training, traveling all over for tournaments. And
yeah.
that's pretty much where I was until I moved to Australia.
Yeah. When was your first time you picked up the racket? How old were you?
Oof. First time I picked up a racket was probably when I was like about 8.
Uh-huh.
But I was playing football at the time, and I
Uh-huh.
preferred football over tennis.
Uh-huh.
So then I would always ask my mom if I could go to more football lessons instead of tennis lessons. So
Mm,
it ended up being just like a once a week thing, and then I started to get a little bit better, became twice a week, 3 times a week, and then
mm,
slowly tennis sort of overtook the football, and
yeah.
then yeah, I fell in love with the game, and then been playing ever since.
Yeah. And was it in Goa that you started playing tennis or when you moved to Pune?
No, I was in Goa where I started playing tennis. That's where I
Uh,
sort of fell in love with the game.
yeah, which makes
Started training more.
yeah, which makes sense
Yeah,
because you are playing football in Goa. It's a big thing. So,
pretty much. Like that's why it was mainly all my friends that were playing football as well. So
mm,
then that was one of the big reasons why I prefer doing football rather than tennis in the first place. Because tennis
mm,
wasn't that big in Goa. There were
yeah,
just like a couple of clubs in the entire state, but like
yeah,
everyone played football in Goa.
yeah. Well, yeah. And then what time did you realize, oh, now I'm getting good. Maybe I should start playing tournaments and try to see if
Yeah,
I can get better.
yeah, so my parents took a little bit of a gamble because like my brother and I we were okay at tennis, but we weren't that good. But my
Mm,
parents could see the potential that we could probably get better, which is why they took the move and
mm,
sort of moved cities, moved to Pune and stuff. And I think it was about maybe 6 months into moving to Pune, where
mm,
like I didn't play too many tournaments for the first 6 months. It was just like a lot of hard training, like a lot of
mm,
hours that I didn't do before. And then
mm,
the improvement was pretty rapid in those 6 months.
mm,
And then that's when my parents sort of pushed me into playing more tournaments, sort of in Pune and around Pune.
mm,
And then it was when I started to go through those qualifying draws and get into the main draws that
mm,
like my parents started to see that potential actually come to the fore in the tournaments. And that's when I started to take it more and more seriously.
mm.
Um, yeah, just playing tournaments further away in India and then internationally later on.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when was your first tournament?
Oh, I think I did play maybe one or two from Goa, like
Mm-hmm.
the Indian national tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
But then at that point, it was mainly to just get a feel of what these tournaments were like. Like we weren't actually up to the level. It was a bit
Mm-hmm.
of a reality check. But it
Mm-hmm.
was one of the things that also made me hungry, which is why I was sort of in support of the move to a larger city to try and get better at my tennis and take it more seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how was that experience like? Like training with the
Moving
per
cities?
no, 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 but you are playing tennis, but right now, like before you start playing, when you were playing football and tennis together, it was more like for fun. But then you move on to the stage where,
Mhm.
you're like, you have a purpose now and you have goals in your mind. So, how was that experience for you where you're like training hard and making sure that, you're improving every aspect of your game? So, how was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was great for me, bro, because like my parents were nice enough and supportive enough to take me out of school.
Mm,
So like I was doing open schooling for like my year 10 and year 12,
mm,
which is like I understood the trade-off. Like if they're being so good to me in terms of like taking me out of school in order to let me pursue this dream, like the
yeah.
least I could do was like show up on time and then do the long hours, the hard hours. And I started to enjoy it quite a bit as well. It
Mm,
was it was good because like the people I made friends with at the time were all working towards the same goals as well. So like it was
yeah.
a good atmosphere and yeah, like I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the aspect of traveling for tournaments and stuff like in my teenage years. sort of
Mm,
living with coaches, living with some of your best friends as well,
mm,
first nationally and then internationally as well. It was yeah, it was a good way to spend my teenage years, I think, in hindsight.
yeah. And did you start training in Pune or did you switch cities as well for training?
Oh well, no, I did start training in Pune when I moved, and then, like I said, for the first 6 months, just a lot of training, and then after that, it was a mix of like being away for a few weeks for tournaments, coming back and training.
Mm, mm,
But yeah, my main base to train was Pune. I did
mm,
go to Spain once, for
mm,
like a month and a half, where I lived there for a month and a
mm.
half, to
Yeah,
train in the city of Valencia.
yeah.
But yeah, training wise was mainly in Pune, and it was the tournaments that were spread out across India and then Asia and
Mm,
stuff as I started to yeah
yeah.
progress up the rankings a little bit.
Yeah, tell me more about your experiences in Valencia. And compare it to the Indian environment. Like
Oh,
I
dude,
think
like it's been
because you were young, right, when you went to Spain.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was 15 and a half at the time.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I mean, pretty different. Like I mean, at that point, I thought I was being worked hard in India,
mm,
but yeah, it turns out I hadn't seen nothing yet. Because like in terms of the hours, it was
mm,
it was similar. I probably did more hours in India in terms of like the amount of hours per day I would train, but I just
mm.
found myself so much more tired at the end
Uh,
of my days when I was in Valencia.
yeah.
I think it's also to do with the style of play. Like for those of you who are tennis nerds, like the Spanish style of play is like
The
hitting forehands for like three-quarters of the court and
yeah.
then hitting backhands for maybe 25% of the court. So it's like that much more moving, always on
Yeah.
your feet.
Yeah.
The coaches are really big on just like intensity, staying behind the baseline, that
Mm,
more of a grinding style of tennis.
mm,
Yeah. And the
yeah.
courts were a lot slower as well. So the
Yeah.
rallies were longer, which
The
means you're
Spanish
moving
play.
more, pretty much. Yeah. So you find yourself a lot more tired by the end. And yeah, the physical training, I did pick it up quite a bit in India as like I got into my late teens. But like
Mm,
when I was 15 and a half, like the stuff that they did sort of fitness wise and in the gym and stuff was more intense than I had done at the time.
yeah. And that phase, especially when you're young, it can be a bit problematic because as a kid you just want to have fun and play, but
Yeah,
then
yeah,
when you go like into a little
yeah,
bit higher level of any sport, actually they try to push you on to the physical side and make you stronger physically, and yeah, that's not fun. I remember uh, when I started playing cricket before I played tennis, uh, and I
mm-hmm.
think I was 9 years old, 10 years old, and in India, like they don't have the proper understanding of like how to get kids to enjoy the sport and how they can thrive in the sport basically.
Yeah,
So I had this
100%.
coach from Punjab, and he was this old school traditional coach. And I remember that he used to make me warm up by going 3 rounds of the cricket field. Now I'm just 9 years old with
Yeah,
small feet, so
yeah.
by the time
You're
it
not
sort
gonna
of
want to come. You're not gonna want to come back for too many sessions. Yeah,
yeah, and I
like
actually remember that yeah, I did that for a week or something, and then I just get so tired just doing this, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all. So I told my mom like, hey, this is
yeah,
happening, and she's like, no, you have to do it because that's important. But I was too stubborn,
yeah.
and one day I went there, and the coach said, I told him that, hey, I don't want to run. I really like I don't like it. So the coach said, that's okay.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
I was like, perfect, it worked out. But then,
Yeah, yeah,
but then I went to my kid to start getting ready with like putting the pads on, putting the helmet on, and everything. And then
yeah.
then I got ready, and I'm coming to him, and then he said, "Oh, so you don't like running, right? So then why you like here? Like why do you want to bat?" Dude, my
Why?
heart broke, dude. I'm like
Yeah,
this 9 year old kid.
yeah.
So yeah, that's
That's
how.
one of the things I feel like about sport in India as well. And like
Mm,
I feel like that's one thing that, and it is getting better, but I think that's one thing that like coaching in general, like across all sports in India, like the
Mm.
coaches can start to get that better, you're gonna have
Mm.
so many more people training
Yeah.
and sort of playing that sport for the rest of their life because you're allowing them to fall in love with it
Yeah.
when they're younger, as
Yeah.
opposed to sort of, oh, you need to like check box A and box B and box C, and
Yeah.
none of them are stuff. And like there's stuff that elite athletes would want to do, but that's because they've fallen in love with the game in the first place. Like, but if you
Yeah.
try to train a 9-year-old in that same way, you're probably
Yeah.
not gonna get a repeat customer, or get someone who's gonna want to stay with you for
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. And in in tennis, it's similar, I feel. Like when you're young, like, yeah, you just want to hit a lot of balls and yeah, play a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
games. But when it becomes drilling, tennis is very like it's very mentally draining because there's so many elements that
yeah,
you need to
definitely.
take care about. Like you get drained very quickly if you're like drilling for hours. And yeah, I think I don't
Yeah,
know about you, but I've done so many drills for so long without the fun element
so
when I
many.
was young.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when I first picked up a tennis racket, the thing that I used to find the most fun is I want to
Mhm.
try to hit the ball further out of the court than I did the last week. Like it
Mhm.
had nothing to do with an actual tennis match or trying to keep the ball in. I just
Mhm.
enjoyed having the ball on my strings
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
just trying to hit the ball as far as I can. And I see that so often with like mainly with the young boys that I teach over here as well. Like they just want
Mhm.
to whack the tennis ball as hard as they can. And that's the fun element for them.
Yeah.
And if you can sort of formulate rules and stuff around that in order
Yeah.
to get the objective that you want from like a coaching standpoint,
Mhm.
you can use the thing that they find fun to
Mhm.
hopefully get them sort of improving in the right way. So then they
Mhm.
do fall in love with the game, but they're
Yeah.
also getting better in the things that you want them to get better in. And then they're more and more likely to keep coming back to you as a
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah. There's a concept called deliberate practice and deliberate play. So you have to
Hmm.
make sure that you have a good balance of these. And especially when, let's just
Yeah.
say, you're starting young, so the amount of deliberate play versus deliberate practice, where deliberate play will be more and deliberate practice will be
Has to
less.
outweigh it, yeah.
And then as you
100%.
move further in your career and also in age, then you have to change it. So it
Hmm.
becomes more deliberate practice in the when you're moving towards more athletic stages. It becomes more deliberate practice
Yeah.
and less deliberate fun. So
Yeah.
this is coaching education that is lacking almost everywhere. But I feel the West is doing much better job in terms of actually applying it. Um, like
Yeah.
like I've worked in a lot of places in Europe, and here I see different coaching styles and different cultures as well. And yeah, they have adapted pretty quickly. But yeah, India
Hmm.
has some work to do on that.
Yeah, for whatever little bit it's worth though, like I've noticed it getting significantly better. Because like I've
Mm,
seen a lot of people that I used to play with who have like a similar outlook to like you and I have, who are
mm,
now the I guess the young coaches of
mm,
India.
mm,
And
yeah.
the way that they teach their kids is yeah, already like a fair bit different than how we were taught when we were younger and stuff. So it
Yeah,
is on the right track.
yeah, and also I think in my second episode we had Rohan on the podcast.
Hmm.
Guys, watch that video,
Yeah.
please, if you can.
Yeah.
uh, and
Definitely
yeah,
a lot of insight from that man.
yeah. So Rohan talked about the social media part that is playing because right now you can see the content that some coaches putting it from Spain, for example. So
Hmm.
it's that few of the positives of social media, and I think that's what in India, I think that's the thing. It's like a lot of coaches are adapting their own way of doing things. But I still think a lot
Yeah.
of work needs to be done within the system, within the whole system of coaching education, because all these coaches comes from
Yeah.
universities, and yeah, they get like taught physical education, and I have seen some of
Hmm.
the things that they teach, and these are not the things that they are teaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Uh,
yeah, that significant effect that we are seeing, I think it's very unsustainable.
yeah. No, 100%. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Then we are talking about your coaching. experiences. Tell me more about what's happening in Australia.
Yeah, cool. So in terms of like coaching experience, I actually haven't coached too much in India. So pretty much all of my coaching experience is over here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like started off doing it part-time
Mm-hmm.
when I was a student in the Gold Coast. And then the thing that I found the most challenging was it was so different to the way that I grew up learning about tennis and
Mm-hmm.
how to play tennis.
Yeah.
Like one thing I feel like they really kill, and we just like touched on this with like the younger kids, is like the gamification of tennis, like making everything a game in order to get the actual tennis outcomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then because they managed to do that well, and
Mm-hmm.
everything's in the form of like a different game or the other, and they use different themes, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, going to space or like going to the beach, and they use different
Mm-hmm.
animals and birds and stuff like that in order to motivate the kids to get the technical and tactical outcomes that they want from tennis. That was something that probably took the longest time for me to grasp because it was
Mm-hmm.
very different to how I was brought up. And
Yeah.
yeah, the other thing about like coaching over here compared to, I think it is similar-ish in India right now, but like the coaching scene is staggered. So like
Mm-hmm.
when I was like, let's say 11, 12 years old, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a very good tennis player. I was playing with the same tennis ball that like Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal were playing with on center court, which is your
Mm-hmm.
yellow tennis ball.
Yeah.
Whereas for here, it's different. From like the ages of 5 to 7, they're using a red ball. From
Yeah.
like 8 to 10, they're using an orange ball. 10 to 12, they're using a green ball.
Yeah.
And then it's mainly only after that that they'll use the actual tennis ball. So
Yeah.
what that does is so like if you take a regular tennis ball as being 100% compression, a red ball's 25% the compression of that, an orange
Mm-hmm.
ball's 50% the compression, and a green
Yeah.
ball's 75% the compression.
Yeah.
So that means like a red ball's not going to bounce anywhere close to as high as
Yeah.
a yellow ball would. So
Yeah.
for a kid who's like who's that short because he's probably 6 to 7 years old,
Mm.
the ball's bouncing at a height that's appropriate for him to hit the ball
Yeah.
with the correct height, which is around about his waist height. So it
Yeah.
just helps so much in terms of like one, reducing injuries because the balls are a lot lighter, so there's less
Mm.
strain on like the kid's arms, and it also helps them hit the ball at the right spot, which is way better for their technique. So what
Yeah.
I've seen mainly is that like when I've I guess seen like 12-year-olds play in India like in a general tournament versus here,
Mm.
the kids on average have much better technique. And like
Mm-hmm.
it's very easy to say like, oh, like maybe the coaching's better here. And to a certain extent, I think that is true.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the modified equipment with like the court spaces being different, mainly the
Mm-hmm.
balls being
Yeah.
different, it really helps sort of set in that better technique compared to some countries in the rest of the world that aren't quite up to I guess the standard of like Tennis Australia or like the USTA or the LTA in terms of the modified equipment and the balls and everything. So
Yeah.
I feel like those things were like a couple of the biggest differences for me.
Yeah.
The other thing that was a big difference as well that when I grew up, or like I mean I know you grew up in India as well. I
Mm.
feel like they trained everyone the same way,
Yeah.
which is they train everyone, like you said, train everyone like a professional. Like you spoke about you at like 9.5 years old going to cricket class,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
then like you just wanted to enjoy the fun aspects of cricket, but it was like, oh, go
Mm.
run 3 rounds, or like
Yeah.
um so like you're hitting forehands side to side, like forehands to backhand side to side in India.
Mm.
Whereas over here, they train you kind of almost based off of what you want out of the sport. So
Yeah.
like there's certain fundamental classes that are more where there's a lot more gamification and just like come here, have fun, like enjoy tennis. There's like holiday camps as well
Mm.
during the school holidays, which are
Mm.
like kids spend 4 hours on a tennis court, but
Mm.
like they're not doing anything serious that's gonna make them a professional tennis player.
Mm.
But at the same time, they offer those pathways to the kids who do want to make a career out of this. So I
Mm.
feel like that's very important because I think it's because of that that you see a lot of people in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s over here just playing tennis at all
Mm.
different levels.
Yeah.
Whereas in India, I feel like the only people who are playing tennis, like I guess at that point in their life, are people who have played it their entire life.
Yeah. But I
So
feel
I
like
feel like here, and
yeah,
plus,
go ahead. Sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry. No, I was saying, and plus, like even if you look at tennis as a sport statistically,
Mm.
like there's probably going to be like one player for every, let's say, 100,000 people who pick up a tennis racket. And I
Yeah.
think that's being generous as well. But even
Yeah.
if you take one player for every 100,000 people who pick up a tennis racket who are going to reach the point in their tennis journey where they can make a financial living out of this sport. Like, it's a
Yeah.
very hard sport to go pro in. So
Yeah.
I guess like training the 100,000 to fit the mold of the one is probably not your best bet in terms of getting
Yeah.
people to continue playing your sport. And I think that's
Exactly.
why we see
Exactly.
like so many dropout rates and stuff in
Mm.
India. And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
less people, less repeat customers for life, or people who just enjoy playing the game regardless of what level they're at. So
Yeah.
that was one of the
Exactly.
differences that I sort of saw as well.
No, but that's a really good one. I mean, that's yeah, you hit the nail on that one. It's yeah, not everybody is gonna make it, but when you as a coach are gonna coach, now think of them, the kids, the younger kids, that all of them should have fun. That should be the basis of it. If you want to make a professional
Yeah.
career out of it, very good. But that base of you having fun playing a sport as a kid, it stays on for a really long time. Like, like even if you go professional, then you'll always be reminded, hey, I had so much fun playing in, and that's something that turns into you the passion, the desire, the hunger that we talk about, because you are having fun with that particular sport. So yeah, you're right on that one.
Yeah, bro, for sure. And like, I mean, I just want everyone who comes to me as a coach to
Hmm.
fall in love with the same thing that I fell in love with in
Yeah.
whatever way that looks like for them. Like, you
Hmm.
don't have to end up being as good as me, or you might end up being way better than me.
Yeah.
But like, I want you to fall in love with the game of tennis like I did when I was like 11, 12, 13 into my teenage years. And like,
Hmm.
that's one of the reasons why I still play it today. Like, I coach Monday to Saturday, but I still
Hmm.
play competitively on the Saturday afternoon,
Hmm.
even when
Yeah.
this is basically my full-time job. And yeah, I could be doing a lot of other things with my Saturday afternoon, but I choose to spend it on a tennis court because like I enjoy competing still.
Hmm. Yeah. And what do you think about the modern game right now? The modern tennis
Oh,
game.
I mean,
It's yeah.
I think it's in good hands. Like
Uh-huh.
I think there was that real worry when like you had like three of the greatest players of all time, Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic, reaching
Yeah.
the end of their careers.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, like who's going to take the mantle from them? Like it might just be like a lot of people rotating the number ones and rotating Grand Slam titles, and you wouldn't have any massive fan favorites and stuff. But I think,
Yeah.
especially in the men's game, like what Alcaraz and Sinner have done in the last 2.5 years and not like, continuing to do is
Yeah.
actually amazing. Like the fact that like you have two all-time greats come along like this quickly after the three greatest players of all time
Yeah.
is actually pretty insane. And like
Yeah.
what Arena Sabalenka has been doing over the last, I
Yeah.
think, what, 2 years now, 2.5 years. Like I know
Yeah.
she's not been having the best year in Grand Slams this year,
Yeah.
but like
I
just like
think
the way that she hits the ball,
yeah,
like the power hitting.
I think who did she lose to right now in Wimbledon?
She lost to Osaka. Lost to
Oh
Osaka.
yeah. Oh
Naomi
yeah.
Osaka.
Oh yeah.
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 But yeah, haven't you seen something else? Like one of the things that I've noticed in the modern game, that uh it has gotten really, really fast and really, really powerful. Like the way Alcaraz and Sinner are playing, like uh,
Yeah.
it's everything is like so powerful. Every shot that they are playing, every stroke, every serve that they are doing. I remember when I was watching Federer, Nadal, they also had it, but they also had this moments where they would calm the game down, like they would slow it down a
Yeah.
little bit and you could see it. Like, and also they had their
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
own weaknesses as well. Like, Nadal's little bit of the backhand,
Yeah.
Federer same with those high, like the high bounce on the single hand backhand. So they had these small
Yeah.
weaknesses, but right now with Alcaraz and Sinner, I don't see anything. They just hit the ball so hard. They are almost accurate on their serves. So it has gotten scary for
Yeah, no, it actually is. And like, I think the baseline game has evolved so much.
yeah,
Like, just, I think one of the biggest differences is like at the top of the game, like the players' neutral balls are so much better now.
yeah.
Because if your neutral ball isn't that great, like you said, the game's that fast, players
Mm,
can be explosive and hit winners off of both sides.
yeah.
Whereas I think like I think we had this big concept of like sword and shield over the last, I guess, like during Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic's time, where like you'd use your forehand as a sword to try and like
Mm.
penetrate and attack your
Yeah.
opponent, and your backhand was kind of your rock solid shield.
Yeah.
So someone like Rafa,
Yeah.
he just used his backhand, especially earlier on in his career, just to stay in the rally. Like Federer would use that slice as like a defense
Mm.
mechanism to like slow the game down in order to
Yeah.
find his forehand again.
Yeah.
Um, and then attack with his forehand. But like right now, it's like it's almost like it's sword and sword, like off
Yeah.
of both sides. And you see that with like so many of the top guys, but especially with Alcaraz and Sinner.
Yeah. And I think that's the game has evolved, but I think the knowledge and the application of the physical fitness, I think it's really important. Because that's
Yeah,
what it has done to Alcaraz and Sinner as well. Because you can't keep that intensity for so long, and they have been doing that match after
yeah,
match, match after match. They have kept the same intensity, the same power. While I think both of them have their injury concerns, but I think with the level that they are playing, I think it should have been even more.
yeah. Honestly, and like I think just like strength and conditioning in general, like as tennis has improved, so has that, and like they kind of go hand in hand because like strength and conditioning, just like recovery supplements, like
Mm,
Sabalenka's big on like IMH, for example, like the
mm,
supplement company.
yeah,
Like there's so many supplements where just by I guess drinking something you can have like 96 ingredients and like
mm,
50 like vitamins and minerals just like
yeah,
into your bloodstream. So
yeah,
because of those things improving so much, it's
yeah,
like makes it easier for them to recover. And like
yeah,
the strength training's gotten so advanced and everything.
yeah.
Yeah, like I do think that they go hand in hand. And then like I wouldn't want to say anything like negative or compare anyone to like the big three. But if
Mm-hmm,
you ask me personally, like I think Sinner's average level
mm-hmm,
is probably like the greatest that we've ever seen in
yeah,
tennis history.
yeah, yeah,
Like just like his average match level. Maybe you
yeah,
could argue that like Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, or even Alcaraz, like their best level is better than Sinner's best. But I just think
yeah.
like Sinner's like day by day level
Mm,
across like ATP 500s, 1000s, Grand Slams, everything. I think it's
yeah,
the highest we've ever seen, and
yeah,
that's actually scary considering how good the other guys were.
yeah. And Sinner specifically is a late bloomer. So he didn't start tennis
Yeah,
as a kid. Uh, so yeah, that's because tennis we know like it's a sport of early specialization.
yeah,
We've always been told the earlier you start, the better. But then Sinner comes and
yeah,
yeah.
100%.
So yeah,
And like he was one of the best skiers in one of the best skiers in Europe as well as like an 11, 12-year old. And like
mm,
if you just look at the way he moves out of corners, like even on the
yeah,
tennis court, it's
mm,
almost like to a
yeah,
certain extent he uses
yeah,
what he's learned from like the skiing to like
yeah,
using those skiing movements out of the corners on the tennis court with his open stance backhands and forehands. Like it's pretty
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, I saw one of his video of his match where he slided on a hard court while chasing a drop shot, and he slided as if he was on a clay
Yeah,
court.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
No,
that's the transfer concept that we see in sports. So if you do one sport, uh,
transferability of skills. Yeah,
yeah, it can get those skills can get transferred to other sport, and it might just help for injuries, for example.
yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
and so we talked about the physical aspect. What do you think about the mental side of tennis? Because it's one of the things that I've realized few years ago. It's that I always we knew that how mentally draining the sport is, but then I just figured out that the actual time that you're playing a tournament, a match, let's just say like it's 3 hours,
Hmm.
and in that 3 hours the actual
Yeah,
playing time is so less, like where you're
yeah,
actually performing the skill is so less versus the time that when you're walking, when you're changing the court, when you're getting ready for the serve. So there is this big time where you're not doing anything,
yeah.
and
No.
I just realized how important that part is, because you're still on the tennis court and you really need to have a really good mental hold of yourself, so self doubt doesn't creep in. you have to regulate your emotions properly. What do you think about
Hmm.
that?
Yeah, I mean, I think like because you said like tennis is like a stop-start kind of sport. I
Yeah,
think the players who can utilize those 25, 30 seconds in between points in
yeah,
order to just like hit that reset button after a bad point or just focus on their breathing after like a
mm,
lung-busting rally,
yeah,
those players end up winning a lot more than the players who sort of struggle with that a little bit. Like, yes,
mm,
like I think skill is sort of the number one thing. Like you need to be able to like hit a serve with this much quality, hit a forehand with this much quality, hit a
mm,
backhand, or have a slice to cover yourself up with that much quality. But I
mm,
feel like you can beat someone who can do a lot of things better than you
yeah,
if you're better than them within those 30 seconds between each point or within your set breaks and everything. Because like
yeah,
those are where the momentum shifts happen, especially when like the margins are that fine in like
yeah,
professional tennis.
yeah. And there's a lot of things you can do right now because as the physical strength and conditioning is also growing, but also the mental techniques and mental skills that are growing as well. And you can do so many things right now in
Yeah,
that, for example, in that time frame where you're not actually performing a skill. Performance routine is one of the biggest things. It's like you can develop a routine of the time that you are not playing, and then you can perform breathing exercises,
yeah,
mind, you can practice mindfulness. And I feel that in tennis, it's really important to have this. Otherwise, yeah, you can have good skills, you can have a great forehand, but yeah, if you don't have a good handle on this mental aspect, then yeah, this sport can get more difficult than it
yeah. You'll
already
definitely
is.
struggle like in this sport. Yeah, because it's one of like the loneliest sports in the world, right? Like
Yeah,
most of the time you're out there by yourself. Like at the most
yeah,
you'll have one other person with you if you're a doubles player. So like
yeah,
it does get very lonely, especially when you're playing. I mean, let's say you're playing like a Brit in the UK or you're playing like a Frenchman at like at Roland Garros and stuff. When you have the
yeah,
crowd against you, you're having
mm,
a bad day, you can't
mm,
execute the skills that you're at the level that you're used to executing. Like
yeah,
it can feel like a very like lonely place. It's also like incredibly frustrating when like
yeah,
you know that you have a certain level in practice and you're not able to bring it
yeah,
like to the match day and stuff.
mm,
So I think having, like you said, like having the right routines make all the
mm,
difference in just like resetting, restabilizing yourself,
yeah,
and then sort of allowing yourself to take the opportunity when that opportunity for those momentum shifts sort of come.
yeah. Oh, true. All right, we are almost coming to an end. I have two more things to do. I'm just gonna ask you a few questions. This is like tennis debate, and we might disagree on things, but let's
Okay.
see. Greatest player of all time on the men's side for you.
So this is a very tough question for me. Um, oh, that's tough. Yeah, I think purely tennis wise, I'm gonna have to say, as much as I hate to say it, like I'm gonna have to say Novak Djokovic.
Nice.
My go-to, like my favorite is always gonna be Roger Federer, but I
Yeah,
think the greatest tennis player of all time is Novak Djokovic, and it's gonna be. I think it's
yeah,
hard to debate that. Like I don't, it's something I don't like saying because like I've been
yeah,
a diehard Roger fan, but I think I'm
yeah.
gonna have to say
I mean,
Djokovic.
it's
Can't
the
go
same
that.
for me because I have been a Nadal fan,
Yeah,
and and
yeah,
Djokovic did that to the rivalry where he just snuck in and just made
yeah.
a
No,
big name out of him. But yeah, for me, it's I think it's Nadal. Have you watched there's a recent documentary on Netflix, Rafa?
dude, I'm honestly so bad with watching things. Like it's been on my list like since the day because like I really like Nadal as well. Like I'm a Federer fan, but like
Mm,
Rafa was like Rafa and Stan Wawrinka like right up there for me. I'm just
yeah,
so bad with like actually getting down to like
yeah,
watching shows on Netflix and stuff these
yeah,
days. But now I'm definitely like gonna
yeah.
watch it within
If
the next
you
couple of
get
weeks.
time, if you get time, yeah, do watch it because it's like we know Nadal, but like this story is more from the injury side that he was struggling with. So it's more about
Yeah,
that persistence and resilience we were talking about before. He's like they have actually
yeah,
documented it pretty well. It's a very good watch for everyone.
yeah.
The audience who's also listening, please go watch that documentary. Also, second question would be greatest player of all time on the women's side.
Oh, I think Serena Williams,
Yeah,
probably
I
the greatest
think
player
yeah,
of all time for me.
there's no debate about that. I think she came back.
Yeah, that was a pretty big story as well. Yeah, came back at Wimbledon.
She made
Um,
a comeback, which is also
she played a
uh
decent match as well. Like it was always going to be tough, but at her
no,
age, trying to come back
yeah,
without having any
just
singles
just to
match
come
win.
back. I mean, that in itself is such a big decision. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
she
no,
doesn't need to, but it's that again, that love for the
yeah,
game. It's
yeah.
okay. Next question.
No, it was definitely
Hardest,
good to see.
uh, yeah, hardest surface to master.
I think it depends on who you are, but I think for a higher percentage of people, I think it would be grass,
Mm-hmm.
just because like
Mm-hmm.
it plays that different. Like the ball stays lower that much.
Yeah,
You can get away with hitting flatter.
yeah,
Um, it like variety actually pays on grass compared to other
mm-hmm.
surfaces, and the
Yeah,
fact that it's only for like 1 month of the year, and
yeah,
most of your tournaments across any level in any country are not
mm-hmm.
going to be on grass. So you get less
Mm-hmm.
time added as well. So I think I'd probably
Yeah,
have to say grass.
yeah,
What
and
would you say?
yeah, grass as well. It's very unpredictable. I had a good time playing on grass because like it was just how I used to play with like different slicing, and
Yeah,
I used to volley a lot, so it used to
yeah,
serve my kind of game, but still it was really difficult.
yeah,
Uh, and especially
yeah.
if you're playing against someone who is like who, let's just say he's not technically the best, but he's putting those balls in and using like different angles and different slicing and knows how to slow the
Hmm.
game down and again pick it up, like change the tempo of his shots. It makes grass really difficult.
Yeah, I feel like grass rewards tennis IQ more than other surfaces,
Oh yeah,
especially these days.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
constructing points better and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, moving is so tough on grass. It's not the same. Like,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, it's like you're on some roller skates. All right.
Yeah.
Most underrated player ever.
Most underrated player ever. Oh, that's a very like I'm gonna have to think about this one. Most underrated player ever. Yeah, for some reason I can't think of anyone just off the top of my head. Most
Uh,
underrated player ever. I think Nikolai Davydenko. I don't know if he was
mm,
underrated, but like he played during like Federer Nadal's early years, and he got
yeah.
as high as like number three in the world. But on his good day,
Yeah,
insanely good tennis player. Especially like looking at his stature and like his height and everything. Like on
yeah,
his good days with his timing, he could take it up to like Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. I think he has a positive record against Djokovic, maybe. I don't know. But
yeah,
yeah, definitely one of the most underrated players in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. It's a difficult question, actually. I would rather phrase it in a way like some player who didn't reach their full potential.
Oh, didn't reach their full potential. I might have to say Kyrgios, but I
Mm,
think he's
mm,
made his peace with that, and I feel like
yeah,
he was okay with putting in. Like people think Nick Kyrgios didn't work hard. Like he's definitely worked very hard to get to where he's at. Like
yeah,
he probably hasn't worked harder than like the other guys who are performing at that level, which is why
yeah,
I'd say like yeah, he hasn't reached his entire potential. But I
yeah,
feel like that's something that like he's made peace with.
yeah. But I think, dude, he was one of the best players in tennis. Like
Yeah, no,
5 to 16.
was. Yeah.
I think he has done his part, and if he is satisfied with it, I don't think we are anyone to say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why, I'd say Kyrgios, but I followed up very quickly with like he's done things his own way. He
Yeah,
was happy to have worked as hard as he worked in order to achieve the results that he achieved. Which like he can argue that like, oh, like you can do whatever you want, you're not going to
mm,
achieve anything
yeah,
close to what I achieved. So, but I
yeah,
feel like his ceiling was immensely high if
yeah,
he chose to take it in that direction completely.
yeah. And for me, it's Del Potro. I really wanted to see him play more, but because of injury, like I think Del Potro
Yeah,
would have ruled the all surfaces at any point.
yeah. No, he was also a real, yeah, real fan favorite. Like everyone liked him.
Yeah,
Heartbreaking to see like how many times he had to go through injuries, how many times he had to reinvent his game as well. Because like when
yeah,
his left wrist got completely messed up, like he had to change around his game. Like
yeah,
he liked to go through the backhand every time, had to change around, started slicing off of every backhand, running
yeah,
around his forehand a lot more. So he's also like a. I feel like people don't give Del Potro enough of credit for how smart of a player he was.
yeah.
Uh, Definitely
No,
great
he
player.
just yeah. I've seen him play a lot of times, but he has stuck with me till now. Like every time I think about like tennis and
Yeah,
someone I would like to watch even right now would be him.
yeah.
All right,
No.
Chris, we're coming to the end, and we have a game which is rapid fire. Basically, I'll ask you questions, and
Oh,
you have to
okay.
be quick as you can. And
Oh,
if
you're
not,
putting me on the spot here.
dude,
Okay.
yes, I have to.
Can, can
I've
I can
done.
I can I pass or do I just can I pass
You can
if
pass.
I'm
Okay.
if I'm not sure?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because I'm putting you on the spot, I'm gonna let you pass.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, Starting with a tough one. If your playing style was a movie, what would it be?
Oh, if my playing style was a movie. Oh, Wimbledon. I think there is a movie named Wimbledon. So the way that I play is very suited to grass court tennis.
No.
Similar to you, like to use my slices a lot.
Yeah,
Um, Chip and charge, come to the net. So
yeah.
probably that.
What's the funniest thing you have heard a player shout during a match? Okay, don't say
Oh,
it. I don't know. I don't know if you'll say
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if I can say it out here. Um,
Wait, what if you cut down all the swearing
but
words?
probably, yeah, something Johnny Mack has said, John McEnroe.
Okay.
Um, let's just say, yeah, we'll go with the classic. You cannot be serious.
Okay. Who was more difficult to deal with, your coach when you played or your players now?
Oh, I think my players now, because like I I do coach like a lot of like younger kids as well, and like
Uh,
when they're having a bad day,
uh,
yeah, probably my players now.
mm.
Wouldn't
If
want
you
to say
could,
anything bad about my coach.
if you could steal one shot from any tennis player in history, whose shot would it be?
Oh, I mean, for me, because I've always been envious of like the big servers, probably Ivo Karlovic's serve.
Oh, damn.
That's probably the one thing yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because like I like playing on grass.
Mm,
If I had that serve, it would
mm,
make my life a lot easier.
yeah. Which is more stressful, serving for the match or watching your player serve for the match?
Oh, yeah, I think it's always more stressful watching someone else because like there's nothing in your hands, there's nothing you can do. Your hands are tied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your go-to excuse after a bad match?
Oh, there's quite a few. I'm sure every tennis player who's listening knows that there's quite a few.
Mm,
Um, Something along the lines of like, oh, like the conditions were so bad today, or um,
yeah.
oh, my strings were too loose, the strings were too tight. I should have got my racket restrung before this,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Or
Yeah,
the referee was not good.
yeah. Well, sometimes that would have actually been true as well. But yeah,
Most bizarre thing you have seen happen on a tennis court.
most bizarre thing I've seen happen on a tennis court. Oof. Um, I don't know if it's the most bizarre thing because like kind of put me on the spot here, but I think that there's like a video of like an ATP Challenger, which is like a fairly high level of tournament on a
Mm,
clay court. I think it was somewhere in South America. Like it
mm,
was so windy. The fact
mm,
that they didn't call the match off,
mm,
and then like it was the umbrellas, and like after a point the umpire got off, and the umpire's chair fell down onto the court as well. Like it was that windy to the point where
yeah.
that match should have been called off like a long time ago. But that's one of the clips that like I just yeah recollected. That was yeah just bizarre. especially the fact that it was like a professional match with like players being ranked
Mm,
from like 150 to 250 playing,
mm,
and for something like that to happen. Yeah.
mm. Alright. Which tennis player would make the best stand-up comedian?
Maybe Gael Monfils, I think.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I think he's gonna do a
I
good
think he's
job.
already a
He's
comedian on the
entertaining,
court.
so yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, what's one coaching phrase you're tired of saying over and over again?
Oh, one coaching thing. There's actually so many. Mm, mm. I'll just stick to the really basic one, especially with
Mm,
the young kids. Mainly
mm,
the boys, just like keep the ball in the court. Because like me, like I said about when I was younger, they just want to whack the ball as hard as they can. Doesn't
yeah,
matter if it goes from court one to court five behind it. They just want to whack that ball as hard as they can. So
yeah,
just like please keep the ball in the court.
yeah. What's harder, hitting a 120 miles per hour serve or getting teenagers to listen?
I mean, depends on who you ask. For me, it's definitely harder to hit the 120 mile per hour serve because I've gotten pretty good with the teenagers listening to me. Yeah.
Alright. If you had to ban one thing from juniors tennis forever, what would it be?
Or from juniors tennis. Honestly, like unpopular opinion, or I don't know, but like it's just having the parents as involved as they are.
Ah,
Like
okay.
just take a
Yeah.
step back
Oh,
and
yeah.
like finding some sort of a way of like, yeah, um, making it an exact rule with like
Mm,
competition tennis, like
yeah,
all
yeah.
parents within 25 meters of the tennis court or something like that. Because
Like
like
a like a
it's bad in a
restraining
way because
order.
like some parents are actually nice. Yeah, yeah, like restraining order for like the whatever the duration of the match. Because like some parents are actually nice, but it's just yeah, it would make the sport a lot easier if like you get rid of
Yeah,
the bad
yeah.
apples.
I've
And
seen players playing differently when their parents are on the court versus when they're off the court.
yeah.
Last question. Complete the sentence. If you know you are a tennis player, wait, you know you are a tennis player when blank.
Oh, you have the most like the most superstitious routines and other aspects of your life as well.
Hmm.
Because like I feel like tennis players tend to be like more OCD with like the small things in their life. Like you see the way
Hmm.
Rafa organizes his drink
Yeah,
bottles
oh
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
For me, it's like I don't like stepping on like the lines of tiles when I walk, and it's
Hmm.
just like a lot of like tiny weird. And I'm not a superstitious person like at all. It's
Hmm.
just like superstitious when it comes to like the mundane dumb stuff. So I
Yeah,
feel like that's something that a lot of tennis players have in common, like their own quirks.
yeah, yeah. All right, Chris, we are at the end of the podcast almost. You did well on the rapid fire. Even
Thank you,
then,
thank you.
when I put you on the spot, you did well. These were some tough questions, but yeah, you did really well. And yeah, man, it was great talking to you, and I hope the audience also had fun. Um,
Yeah, no, likewise, man. It was great to be here. Great to talk to you as always.
yeah, yeah, we'll have you on again sometime in the future. But till
Yep.
then, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Chris, is there any place the people can follow you? They can keep a
Oh,
check on your work.
on Inst yeah, 100%. It's my personal Instagram at
Okay,
c.cummings, so C.Cummings.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
I'll put that in the description box for the audience to see. But yeah, thank you so much
cool.
again, Chris,
Sounds good.
and everyone for tuning in. If you're still here, and yeah, till next time. Bye bye.
No, thank you, Sahil. See you. Bye.
Yes, bye.